All right, back live. Another week, another day, another dollar. Quickly, we'll
Not last
recap.
week.
Yeah. As I said on Instagram, that was certainly a week that happened. We can address the individual games, but wow, that was pretty bad. So last week, Cam was the winner of the day, 7-7 record. Me and Michael both had a nice 5-9 record. So I think that's the worst collective week we've had. Definitely the worst individual week, 5-9. I think Mikey had a couple weeks where he's a game or two under 500, but yeah. I don't think I won anything after the 1 o'clock window. Any bets or any picks? Pretty brutal slate. The 4 o'clock especially stands out. You can go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I was in Vegas, and I don't think I've ever lost more amount of money in my entire life sports gambling. So, very brutal weekend for me. At least Sunday. Saturday was okay, but Sunday was very tough. Even though I was 500 on my picks, I just think the bets that I focused on while I was in Vegas definitely didn't pan out as I hoped.
How was Vegas?
It was a good time. Down in Florida now, catching a little sun. But hopefully we're looking to focus on turning around on week 12. So I don't really love a lot of these spreads coming up, but hey, I liked a lot of these spreads last week, so maybe that means we're just due for a massive week this week.
I love this board. It's a great board. I'm
We're
seeing
due.
a lot of. I'm seeing
That's
things.
That's not what I heard.
The stars are aligning, dude. This is going to be a crazy week. All right, so before we get into this awesome week 12, actually, we got to update the full year record. So, Michael, after 5-9, you dropped from 55% to 53%, still above 500. Record of 71, 62, and 1. Cam, your 500 record, I think somehow dropped you a little bit. I think you're at 60%. Now you're down to 59%, 69, 48, and 1. And my record is 92, 72, and 2 for 56%. So same percentages, same standings for that. Cam's still on top. Honestly, I think it's going to take a lot to beat him because he has less games than us, and he usually I'm not saying that it's just going to be a tough mathematically. Like there's something in there for that.
Yeah, I know.
So we'll kick off this week 11. Let's start with Thursday Night Football, which me and Michael did not watch a second of. Eagles got the job done at home against the Commanders. Cam, so take us away here. What was the story of this game?
I actually watched every second. Thankfully, I had Philly minus 3.5, but don't get me wrong, that was a sweat and a half. It was a gross first half, but the second half was actually pretty entertaining for a Thursday Night Football game. Saquon came out with 2 tutties. Thankfully, that was one of the few bets I hit before going to Vegas. I had Eagles, and I think I had Saquon to score 2, maybe just 1. But if not, it covered for a little bit of my losses in Vegas. But just seemed like that divisional matchup, especially on the road. I thought the Eagles were going to kind of handily win, which the score kind of made it seem like they did, even though the Redskins actually played relatively well within the first 3 quarters and just found a way to blow the game. But I think both of these teams have a lot of promise going forward. It just depends on the matchup, and it's also the NFC East. I don't know how good of a win you want to call this for the Eagles if you want to compare it to the Redskins, as we've talked about how the Redskins have faced a kind of a mediocre, if not less than par, competitive advantage against the teams that they played previously. And then the Eagles, we've talked about, can't finish games and beat the teams that they need to beat. But I don't know. I thought it was one of the more entertaining games in the slate.
Yeah, unfortunately, I missed it. I thought this was a doubly an impressive win for the Eagles, not having watched any of it, but I thought this would be a pretty letdown spot since they've been flying pretty high lately. Commanders coming to town, the up-and-coming team thought this would be closer on Thursday night. I believe the Eagles were up 2 scores, right? And then they had a garbage time touchdown at the end. So
exactly. Yeah.
Eagles, I don't know. I feel like people are sleeping on them as an overall contender, but we'll have
Agreed.
to wait and see what happens with them. So we'll move ahead to Sunday, the 1 p.m. slate. We were all somewhat watching this. I actually was not watching the full slate. I took an hour to go play some basketball with a friend, shoot around, lab up. Jumper's looking good. Got some post moves, so it was worth it. But here we are.
Shot.
Yeah, it's falling. Yeah. It's starting to fall. First game on the docket, we had Packers beat the Bears. Obviously, there's a storyline here. Michael, you want to lead us off on this one?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I watched Red Zone for the second half, and I watched the Jets game only first half first half of the 1 o'clock window, and then I watched Red Zone. So,
yeah, that's the tough thing about having a team in the 1 p.m. slate. It's like you got to try and pay attention
a lot of it,
unless you're on like multiple TVs and whatever. But essentially, the story is the Packers. Like, this was the Bears' comeback game. You know, fire the offensive coordinator. It's going to be the one, right? We finally going to beat the Packers, and nope, our kicker fucks up at the last second. Was it blocked at the end, or did he hit it off the upright? I think it was blocked.
It was blocked. Yeah.
Yeah. You could put fucking prime Adam Vinatieri out there to make that kick. The same situation would happen. This is just the Bears. I think they're cursed. Pretty safe to say the Caleb Williams bet is dead in the water. I don't know what the answer is with him. I still think there's hope, but I'm one of the seldom few in that football world who thinks that quarterbacks are more than just like their first 10 games in the NFL. But I guess I'm in the minority on that.
What's the Rookie of the Year odds looking like right now?
Probably fucking horrible. If someone wants to talk while I look it up. Cam, if you had anything else from this game.
Yeah, I mean, I watched every second of this game too. I honestly thought the Bears, like you said, the Bears are kind of lined up to win this game, and the Packers gave them every opportunity to do so, but it just never came through. Obviously, just fundamental football. All you have to do is block the defensive line and kick a field goal. Oh, also, a lot of mistakes right there. I mean, I don't know if you guys caught it, but they had like 35 seconds left on second down, like before the end of the game. And then Eberflus decides to just let the clock run out and then kick the field goal. That's from 46, as opposed to running one, if not two more plays, as they had 2 timeouts too. It was very odd just watching it in person. It just kind of seemed like once that happened that the Packers were going to end up winning this game. Thankfully, I took the Bears on the spread. But, yeah, it was kind of just Packers owning the Bears at this point. Like, I can't imagine betting the Bears. I'm kind of curious to see what they do with Eberflus from here on out. I think he has a very short leash. I think if he loses 1, if not 2 more games, then he might be out of there. But I don't know. I'm curious. Just seems like the Packers should have won or should have lost that game, but obviously playing an inferior opponent there and coming out with a win.
He's on borrowed time. Updated Rookie of the Year odds. We have him live. Jaden Daniels is minus 50 or minus 550. Bo Nix, as one of our commenters, former guest of the show, Mark says Bo Nix is making a push. He's right. Bo Nix is the only one within 1,000. He's plus 400. Brock Bowers plus 1,800. Marv plus 4,000. Brian Thomas Jr. plus 4,000. Caleb Williams plus 5,000.
Wow.
Drake May is plus 7,500. And yep, still JD to lose.
Is that only based off games played? Like, I feel like Drake's outplayed Caleb. I mean,
well, if it's off who's the best player, like Drake would be up there, but like by the time he came in,
by stats.
They've already been accumulating all those stats. Bo Nix, especially.
They played 4 games.
Yeah, that's like at least a couple hundred yards, a couple touchdowns. You know, running touchdowns, especially those seem to pop out in the awards. All right, we'll keep it moving. Next game. Yeah, this was a fun one to listen back to. You know, I took the 14 points with the Jags. Safe to say Mac Jones may not be a good NFL quarterback. I think he needs a couple of years.
He's still young.
He was thrown into the fire, bro. Like, he needed 4 years to just not do anything and just sit out and watch the NFL and then come back in and be the best quarterback and play Bryce Young in the Super Bowl, like I promised. But I don't think this situation's right for him. This is literally like, I think this is worse than the Patriots last year. Like,
they got like Brian Thomas and Christian.
They have better weapons, yeah, but like the situation around the organization right now, like Doug Peterson's on borrowed time as well. He didn't get fired after this game.
Probably no, he didn't. But it's likely that he will. But it's like in the next coming weeks. I think it's worse because he's not getting first team reps. Like maybe he did during this week, but it's like with the Pats at least, like you knew at least for the first half of the season he was your starting quarterback. Like at least you could practice with these guys. Like he's basically just thrown into a situation and expected to beat one of, if not the best team in the league, one of the best teams in the league. On the road, by the way, too, where I just think it was a completely unfair situation. But granted, he did not look great. I'm not saying that he looked like okay, but
no matter what Mac did, the Lions scored a touchdown on every single drive they had.
Exactly, and that's not on Mac. Like that has to be there. Like Mac can't play defense too. Like I don't know what to tell you, but If you want
I
to shit
know.
on Matt, go ahead. But
If
I'm
he
not
could, he
shitting
would.
on him. I'm just thinking.
no. I
I'm
just meant
thinking
in
his
general.
time.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not even
Agreed,
on his.
yeah.
That class isn't even on their 5th-year options yet. Like Fields.
Exactly.
Think about
Yeah.
this. We're done with all of them. Fields, Lance, Wilson, Matt. Well, not Fields technically, but Mac. Like
Lance should be
it's.
cut. Lance should play in the fucking Canadian Football League at this point.
Well, we had breaking news before you joined the cast that Cooper
Wait,
Rush
what?
will get his 3rd start this week, and it won't be Trey Lance. Not really that big of breaking news, but
Interesting.
from a Lions perspective, just a wagon. I was been waiting for them to lose a game so I could take them to win the Super Bowl, but I don't know when that's going to happen. I haven't looked at their schedule, but we'll see. Yeah, this was just a bad break. Minus 14, I guess they can cover that, so that's something to note moving forward. Next one, Dolphins Raiders. Big Jonnu Smith game, about as expected. You know, the Raiders actually were in this, and then they had to have a nice little drive at the end, the Dolphins, to cover the spread and go up 2 scores.
Yeah.
I didn't catch much of this game at all. So, Cam, if you have anything else you want to add for this one.
No, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I caught all of this game too, but it's definitely just a different offense with this Dolphins team. I mean, we kind of talked about it. Like, they've been given hope, especially after that Jets lost the previous week, and then obviously this week. I just think we'll go into that in the next segment. But this Dolphins team being second in the AFC East, I think they're trying to make a push for a play like that 7C as we talked about in the playoffs, and they're also just different with Tua. I'm going to be boots on the ground this week against the Pats, so that might influence my pick a little bit too. But I mean, I don't want to even think about comparing this Patriots team to the Raiders. That Raiders team we've been kind of anti throughout the entire, probably since week 1. But yeah, thankfully the Dolphins in this one ended up paying off, even though it was a larger spread at 7.
7.5. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, 7.5.
This is the only bet I hit, the over. I don't know why I took that, but it hit. So let's go. Besides that, Vegas continues to respect the Raiders way too much, and we'll talk about this week. But I think that trend might continue. I thought you would be in Charlotte for Chiefs Panthers.
Absolutely not. I actually have a buddy going to the game who is a Chiefs fan, so that is also going to influence my pick. And
he's in for a tough.
Yeah, he's in for.
Don't go on TikTok, dude.
No,
They're making a lot of Bryce Young edits.
No, he's a bandwagon Chiefs fan, so that's why I'm kind of leaning. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah.
This game, not really much else to say. Now, home team, tough loss. Like I said, I wasn't really watching the middle of this game. I watched the beginning and the end. So, Cam, if you want to jump off again with your direct thoughts from the whole game.
So this was tough. So this is where the majority of the Vegas losses came in. Well, I've bet them at least 3 times, and they were definitely my heftier bets. I don't know why. I just had a feeling about them at home. Kind of had a massive testimony about them on the previous pod. And they looked good. They had a chance to win at the end, and unfortunately, we just couldn't pull it out. But it was honestly the defense giving up 4 touchdowns, I think, with a span of like less than 8 minutes. That kind of costed them in the second half. I thought the offense actually looked relatively well. They were moving the ball. They scored the ball. Like, they scored plus 21 points, which I don't know when the last time the Patriots have done that, especially like in the Mac Jones era, even with Cam. Like, I don't even know when the last time like they scored 21 points. So I thought that was one of the more electrifying offensive performances I've seen, even though they're capitalizing on the Rams' mistakes too. But I'm definitely I'm starting to realize I might be overly optimistic on the Patriots, but I don't know. But I don't know. Like, that Rams team, like, does that give you a lot more confidence in the Rams moving forward too? Like, I just feel like that NFC West is also fraudulent as fuck. So and it's also like I lost that spread by 1 point. Like that was a quote. Like, I feel
it was
like
4.5. Well, we had 4.5 on the cast, but it might have gone up in the meantime.
I had -5, but yeah, sorry, but still, like, I don't know. I thought the Patriots, like, if you want to play the cheapie and you get the field goal to cover the spread, like, that's easily done. But I don't know. Like, that doesn't give me, whatever that game that I watched doesn't give me any confidence in the Rams betting moving forward. But
I'm of the opposite opinion. I think the Rams, you come into like a fight, like the Pats aren't a great team, but it's like they have a home advantage. Like, there's going to be fans, especially now behind Drake May. Like, it just was like a kind of show up, like systematic, get the win. It wasn't anything flashy. I think I didn't watch the game, obviously, but I watched the game, but not the middle of it. I know Cooper Kupp had 2 touchdowns. Like Nakua had a crazy catch. So I think you get those guys humming along with Kyron Williams, who I continue to say is maybe the most underrated player in the NFL, at least on the offensive side. I think, this team could just show up and beat like half the league at least. So I'm keeping my eye on them. I think the NFC West has gotten really interesting. I don't trust the Seahawks. I like the 49ers. The Cardinals I'm still iffy on, but I like this Rams team too. I think they could potentially get 3 teams in the playoffs. We'll have to see how things shake out. So yeah, Mikey, any spare thoughts from this one?
Not really. Rams playoff bet.
True. I need to look at the circle if it's green or red. That Drake May pick at the end, like that was a pretty bad throw, but you have to remember.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like,
no, Demario could have caught that.
Yeah, that was also not fully his fault.
It was just on both sides. It was on both sides.
Yeah, and they both handled it well after the game. So
they're gonna
agreed.
Win one more game and draft Travis Hunter.
Sure, I'm down. Like I've been saying, bro,
I mean,
the wins don't matter at all. Like we should win or try and win as many games as possible. In the NFL, you should never try and lose games unless you need a quarterback.
Exactly. We have the quarterback. Yeah.
So like we're gonna get a tackle. We're gonna get Travis Hunter. We're gonna get the kid. What is it from Florida or Auburn? That's sick. Like we're gonna get somebody, bro. It's not gonna matter that much. If we don't get a tackle or wide receiver, we should spend money on them. Maybe Mr. Kraft. I don't know. Not just leave $10 million to rot in the fucking lighthouse, but. That's a conversation for a different day. Next game, Cam's favorite game of the week, Saints-Browns. I think what we should do for the podcast moving forward is these games that are kind of like in between teams that are kind of irrelevant, we can just kind of like heave-haw through.
I think we kind of did that last week too.
Yeah.
I think we were like, no matter what, yeah. I took
really
the Saints
like,
and thankfully it paid off.
Yeah, Saints I thought was the play there just at home. Don't really trust this Jameis Browns team. Taysom Hill, legacy game. Nothing really else to add for this one.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. So we'll keep it moving. One of the bigger games of the day. I missed a lot of this one. Steelers-Ravens. Steelers get it done. Are the Steelers legit now? Are you putting them in that 1A group, 1B group, or do you think this is kind of just situationally they were at home, got the perfect game that they needed to win? Cam, you're shaking your head or nodding.
Yeah, I think the latter. I think it's the latter at home divisional game, AFC North matchup. It's going to be a tough, close-fought battle. I just thought that the Ravens could have pulled it out by like maybe 4 or 5. We kind of talked about it on the pod last week. Like we kind of knew it was going to be a tough fought game, but when you're getting Lamar -3 and Derrick Henry as well, I just was very surprised how like they didn't really utilize him enough. Watching the game live, you just couldn't like. I was watching it the entire game, and I just didn't understand why Derrick Henry wasn't on the field for like legit the majority of the plays. Like I would say he was on the field for maybe like 45% of the plays, and it was just so odd. I wasn't sure if there was battling an injury bug or something. Nothing came out, but I don't know. I'm not like that Steelers team. Like, sure, they're tough, but that I'm more focused on the fact that it was an AFC North matchup and they were at home. I'm not too confident in them. Like, they didn't score a touchdown. Like, can't really win too many playoff games or like big games moving forward without a touchdown. So.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I wouldn't trust them in the long run, but I think even if they would, like now the Ravens have 3 losses or 4 losses, I forget, but the Steelers now might win this division and get a home playoff game. So it might this might be a game that we see again happen in Pittsburgh. Granted, I think the Steelers have to play the Bengals and Ravens one more time at least. But
yeah,
I feel like it's more impressive for the Steelers.
Yeah, no, I think this.
They pulled this game out without like. Russ was fine. It was a major throwing the ball game, which I did not think would come from this matchup. Like these teams are run first teams. They have been forever. And they're both slinging it. Neither of their running backs got over like 70 yards, I don't think. Like they're top runners. It was weird for me.
Yeah.
I would have thought this game would have been a little bit higher scoring.
Russ has to keep up with
Lamar.
Yeah, that's what I kind of envisioned as well. Comment from the crowd here. Mr. Mark chimes in. Steelers D can hold anyone in the league to 20 or less. Top 3 unit in the league. That's an interesting. I don't necessarily disagree with that.
I don't either.
Mark's really smart. He should call in and talk out loud.
Jay Tuck also missed 2 field goals. Very concerning for them. This is a weird one because I have him fantasy talk of the week. I have him on one of my fantasy teams, and he's like 7th ranked in the fantasy. So he's not like, I don't know if that's
Yeah,
Shoot, I
just.
Dennis thought that you were. I Dennis thought you were going to say that you have him on one of your fancy podcasts, and I'd be like, "Wow, the Dubcast is kind of blowing up."
Yeah, last time you were out, Cam, we just had Justin Tucker on the show. No biggie.
I feel like this might be like the second or third game that they've lost close games that he's missed kicks in, though.
I think he missed kicks against the Chiefs, honestly, and that's why they lost week 1. But that's also week 1, and then you have that likely toe tap that was out. But
it's sad, but Father Time.
I think that just makes him more battle tested. But anyways, yeah. So I keep going.
All right, we'll keep moving. We'll see what happens with the Steelers, especially. I think the Ravens, we kind of all still hold them in a high regard. So next one, Vikings-Titans. The fade train continues. Another free win for everybody. I don't think I watched a second of this. I saw Addison had like a 50-yard touchdown at one point. No Justin Jefferson touchdown again. Cam, I think you've picked that 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Maybe next week we'll see, but nothing really to say here. The Titans remain one of the worst teams in the NFL. Levis is back, I guess.
Yeah, who gives a shit? I mean, that was a gecko anti-fade Titans. Keep it moving.
Vikings look good.
You have anything to add?
Defense.
Yep.
Now on to some people's favorite segment of the week. I told you on this one, I was listening today, I told you the Colts +4 is a lock.
Right, but my logic was there.
Your logic was there. You were like, I should pick the Colts, but I'm just
logic.
not going to pick them. But you said every time I pick against the Jets, they win. And then you're like, I'm picking the Jets, though. So I was like, what? All right, so break it down. We have noted Jets fan who gave one. I still need to clip that rant that Mark gave. That's all time. One of the most beautiful rants about the Jets ever. But what do you say now? Is it over, or are you still holding out a little bit of hope?
No.
Uh-oh.
Did he call in?
We have another
first ever
visitor.
caller. How do I pull him up to the main one? All right,
there we go.
Caller into the show. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Mark Halloran.
Hi, Mark.
Thank you guys for having me again. I don't have a lot to say. I just wanted to be on screen so you could see my face while Michael was talking about the Jets.
Okay, we'll put you in the gallery. We'll put Mikey in the big screen.
I don't want to be full screen.
No pressure, kid.
Basically, they suck. I should have known it was coming. I did know it was coming, honestly. My logic was sound. I feel like I said they were going to get a stupid, win by 30 and then just rip everyone's hearts out, which they just decided to do on Sunday rather than later in the year. They fired Joe Douglas today, which I don't know if I really agree with because they have a good team. But when you've been the GM for a team for 6 years and you've won 0 playoff games and you've never gotten to the playoffs and your record is in the 30% area, you're gonna get fired. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they have their first round pick this year, so I feel like they'll try and keep winning games, but I don't know. I don't really have anything to say for them. They just
what does that statement mean? They have their first round picks. They're going to try and win games.
Yeah.
They're
you
gonna
want the opposite.
Yeah, but it's the Jets.
Okay. Fair. Okay, yeah, fair. Whatever you think is going to happen, the Jets will just do the opposite. Yeah, that's
I don't know if any of you watched the end of that game, but it was the same thing as the Patriots game, whatever, 3 or 4 weeks ago, where they had the lead and they just let them walk.
It did
down
remind me of that. Yeah,
and it's just so bad. The NFL is crazy that it's one play here and there can change your entire season, and for the Jets, it's one play every game can change the next 10 years of your life.
Bold.
Yeah.
Mark, did you have anything that you wanted to add on to that, or in agreement with Mikey on his little rant?
I mean, yeah, I've been saying this the whole time. The Jets are just not a good football team. Aaron Rodgers was, maybe he was a good get at the time, Then he got all a big head because he started doing ayahuasca, tore his Achilles, can't move, can't throw, can't be a good teammate. But also, while you guys were on the stream here, notification popped up, breaking news that the Jets are going to try to part ways with Rodgers in the offseason.
Oh, breaking
Shocking,
news on the
maybe?
Dubcast, courtesy of
Breaking
Mark
news.
Halloran. Breaking news.
Woj bomb.
Hashtag
Like-
Schefter Jr., Mark Halloran.
That was like 2 hours ago.
All right,
I didn't
well,
know that.
that's the information I've got. So, I mean, I think it's smart. If you're getting rid of everyone that
Yeah.
got Rodgers there, you might as well get rid of Rodgers too, because obviously he's
Agreed.
not winning games. I said last year they should have drafted a quarterback first round. Michael said, no, we got to get someone so they can win this year. I don't know.
What a fucking idiot, Mikey.
They got the
God.
lineman. I don't even know if the lineman plays. Is
He
he
does.
good? Probably
He's
not.
played the last 2 weeks and he's done well.
True Jets fan doesn't even know if his first round pick plays.
The lineman.
I don't know. He's got some like Hawaiian name or something.
Oh,
Shanu.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
But
Some
I don't know. They need a quarterback. They need a lot, but they really don't need a lot.
They don't need a lot. They just need a quarterback. That's
So
why-
if Rodgers goes, does Devontae go?
yeah.
Should.
Yeah, Devontae's old as shit. You got to get rid of him, too.
Yeah, I think
mean,
that
I
was the
don't-
last straw. I mean, the GM goes out and gets Devontae for, I don't know, whatever he got him for, and then he's done nothing, and they've lost every game since. So
That's just not true, but
it
He
is.
scored a touchdown against the Texans and they won that game, dude.
yeah, Mark.
We're falling
On
apart
Halloween.
on the Dubcast.
On Halloween.
I was doing different things on
Yeah.
Halloween. I didn't tune into that game.
All right. Yeah, we'll
Shout out
talk
Nashville.
about it.
Shout out Kid Rocks.
All right.
Kid Rock's
With that being said,
also there around that time. Kid Rock's is
any-
my favorite bar there.
Hell
any
yeah.
further comment, Mark, or can we let you go until later, maybe?
No, that was good. I just wanted to make sure Michael knew what he was talking about, and looks like he's finally come around.
All right. We have Mikey. Mikey
The
has wrapped
Howling
his head around
Bros.
the concept of the Jets not being good.
Hell
All right.
yeah.
Thanks to our first caller, Mark. Maybe we'll see you later. All right. He left himself. All right. We got to keep this moving. So,
Yeah, we got the C's on in an hour. Let's go. Come on.
yeah, I can't believe people care about an NBA game in November. But regardless, fuck this game. Fuck the Falcons. I should have.
True.
You guys were talking about how I was a Falcons hater last week. I was like, no, I like the Falcons. I think they're going to be good. I'm done with this team, bro. This is the worst team to bet on in NFL history. Every single bet I've ever placed on the Falcons has lost. Either way. Like, it's just, I can't do anything with this team. I'm done. I'm not touching with a 10-foot pole. I'm done with this Falcons team. What the fuck is that? Welcome to the NFL, Michael Penix Jr. You're down 38-6. This was just, what happened? Like,
I don't know.
if someone says altitude game, I'm gonna like lose my shit because there's no excuses for this.
That is kind of a factor. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was huge on Atlanta. I think when we recorded last podcast, but I'm kind of feeling the same sentiment as you, where this Falcons team might be a Cam don't touch. I thought Atlanta had that pretty much locked up before the kick or before the ball was even kicked off. And then Denver just fucking steamrolled them like the entire game. I didn't really get to watch much of that game, but I just saw the score by play. Like every 5 minutes I was checking, it was just disgusting. I was like, you know what? Why even turn that game
There was
on?
nothing to watch besides
Yeah.
Michael
Yeah.
Penix make like
It
one
wasn't
good throw
really
at the
on
end.
red zone ever. I feel like.
Yeah, I was.
And
yeah,
what's
I
with
mean,
the we have 8 games at 1 p.m. We can't slide one of them
Yeah.
to 4 p.m. and we have the fucking Falcons and this is one of our games that, especially because they do the delay, they have the Bills and Chiefs on at 4:25. So we have 2 games on at 4:05
Yeah,
and one of them's 30-0 in the first half. It's like we're just cutting
Yeah.
between 2 games. Why don't I
Yeah,
get
couldn't
Red
agree
Zone
more.
or YouTube TV and fucking put 2 on? It's like whatever.
Yeah.
I
I don't have much
comment
to
from the
add,
chat.
Mikey.
Kid leaves the stream and then trolls after I say don't say altitude game. Good
Altitude
one.
game. All right, tough.
All right, whatever. Fuck the Falcons.
That is a
I'm
factor. I mean,
I'm officially
when
done.
Rome,
They're approaching ban list. They're in like the nether region with
I agree.
Giants. with
Titans.
Daniel Jones starting, but that's never going to happen after this week. So I don't know. I guess it's only the Falcons in that region. Another big fuck you to the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, also tough.
I doubled down on both these teams. The Falcons, I'll give okay. The Falcons, I'll be like, you know what? You're on the road. Maybe there's altitude problems. Maybe Kirk Cousins just has a shitter every once in a while. Like, that's life. What happened to the 49ers? Like, this is your get-back spot. This is beat the Seahawks into submission. Geno Smith has never won a game against the 49ers. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're just going to, sit around. I'm a Brock Purdy guy, but I'm starting to lose the faith that he can be the one when you have, Debo. Jawan Jennings had a legacy game, besides the Super Bowl. This was probably his best game as a pro. McCaffrey's back. There's no more excuses. Trent Williams, I think, has been healthy, right? What JSN, you're letting that JSN become a freaking top 10 wide receiver in the NFL? What are we doing? This one lost me a lot of money as well.
Yeah, this was tough. Don't really have much to add to it. I don't know. Those Ohio State receivers, they seem like they can figure it out a little bit.
Yeah, you have to walk that back.
No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I don't really know. I wasn't able to catch much of this game. I was very surprised watching it, just based off the box score. Really thought the 49ers, like you said, that was a bounce back spot, kind of get it right game, and then you move with forward progression into the later part of the season, especially in a weaker NFC West where everything's kind of wide open. And of course you lose to a divisional rival at home. Just seemed very odd to me, but I don't really have anything else to add other than that. Just kind of in shock, honestly.
This was just the icing on the this was the icing on the cake of your day's fucked. It was okay, at least the 49ers will win. I had a parlay that just needed them to win, and that was it. With the Vikings and the Dolphins, okay, that's easy, right? We're up 10, we're up 17-10, we're up 17-7. Just fucking choke job. This is when the clowns come to get you. Week 11.
Yep. Okay.
And another one that
hater, by the
you're
way.
a Brock Purdy hater.
I think it was tough for. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
I don't know. I feel like there's a reason he was last pick in the draft. He's basically Tua with less talent, and that's what I have to say about
Kids
that.
fucking throwing darts right now.
So you think if Tua was on the 49ers, they'd be better than they are right now?
Yeah, they're both accurate system quarterbacks. They run basically the same offense.
I like Brock way more. All right, now Mikey's gone. Now I'm just alone on the stream.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you're not in the picture.
Well, yeah, I'm just pissing. I'll give you started off then.
All right. Well, Mikey just disappeared. I'm gonna remove him from the screen. We'll start off this one. Bills Chiefs. Another one I was wrong about. Never bet against the Chiefs. We were wrong. Sub on the play. What happened? Where's your brother?
I don't know what happened. Hopefully he's all right, but I'll fill in for him. Oh, he's back.
All right.
My computer died while it's plugged in.
And we're focused on Cam coming back from the pitch.
Oh yeah.
So I was just talking about how the Bills I keep fucking up the camera. I was just talking about how this was another letdown spot. I'm glad the Chiefs lost. At the end of the day, who isn't? But this is kind of not really what I expect from this game at all. Bills were just up the whole time, and then Mahomes kind of went fake legacy moment.
I don't know. I honestly think this is kind of a win, not a win-win, because obviously everybody on this channel lost money, but you want the Chiefs to lose, but it's also, this is probably the only time you're going to get Patty at plus money, and who's not going to take that, especially an undefeated team, even though it is on the road. And I honestly thought there was kind of be a flip of the mojo. I thought Kansas City was going to win this week, and then the Bills might end up winning the postseason. That's why I went with this bet. But maybe it's just the same thing where the Bills win the regular season and then Patty's still Patty in the post. I don't know, but it was a relatively good game. The Chiefs had it within one score until that massive 4th and 2 run by Josh Allen with 2 minutes left in the game. So I wasn't that upset with the bet. I thought that had a good chance of hitting even on 4th and 2 when they went for it. I was very confident that, hey, we get to stop here, get the ball back, go down and score a tutty, or even a field goal just to win it. But obviously Josh Allen just took that over. I don't know. I thought it was a good game, but obviously didn't win any of us money on the spread. So
by this point in the game, or by this point in the day, I was just happy that the Chiefs lost. It's something to hang your head on.
Yeah, I mean, we lost like every single fucking bet that we probably placed. So why not lose another one and have the Chiefs lose?
Yeah,
Mark,
I'm a big Josh Allen rushing touchdown guy. So that
Me
hit
too.
for me
Yeah,
the last like minute or two, which was huge.
nice.
This was also a big recency bias week for the AFC. So like you just looking at this week, Steelers really good, Bills really good, Chiefs on the downfall, Ravens on the downfall. Like it's kind of like I don't know if you want to get some teams that maybe lost this week on good odds for a future, or I don't know, people distort their opinions on teams based on just 1 week. I don't know.
Look at this guy teasing the next segment. Oh my god! Wow, impressive.
I'm a big futures guy. I look at futures every day.
he did give a
Morning
Jaden
Boots.
Daniels future, although it was like minus 115 at the time, but that's looking like a real lock at this point. So that was a correct pick. I will say, now that
Nice.
you're back, though, Yankees game 1. What happened?
That,
We don't need to dig up old graves.
Yeah, why'd you even throw that grenade
All right.
out there? You didn't have to do that.
Well, it was part of his Focus 5. The other one, the
I didn't know
49ers
that was allowed,
to win the
but-
division as well. That's looking a little shaky. I don't know if you actually took that or not.
I do have that. I've got that in a parlay preseason with the Chiefs to win their division. So we'll see. It's still alive
let
for
that
sure,
ride.
but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
49ers are just finding ways to blow games. Like they're
Yeah.
doing
It's-
it like it's their day job.
That division, don't worry about that division. Like they might have that division in like 3 weeks.
I mean, the
honestly.
division,
Don't-
yeah, but look at their own
Yeah.
team. They got to win games, and they got a tough schedule this upcoming like 3, 4, 5 weeks.
Don't worry. They'll figure it out.
We'll talk about
That's
that
a
game
wake up.
this week.
That's a wake up call.
We still have 2 more games. We're kind of staying on these last games, so let's just get them out of the way. This was an elite football game. I think Cam, you were the one that said you didn't like it on Sunday Night Football. It might have been Mikey, but my dad was hating on this game as a Sunday Night Football game. This was a good game, dude. Back and forth. Chargers were able to hang in there, and my question with them, I thought Burrow's offense and their passing attack would be too much for the Chargers to keep up with, but the Chargers did the job, man. And they have Ladd McConkey. He looks like a real stud. Georgia product. Shout out Bulldogs. Who else? Quentin Johnston. I've been in on him, and you can say cap like LeBron's story. I was taking his overs in like November of last year. I was like, he's gonna get it right, because rookie wide receivers go through the same thing as rookie quarterbacks. Like if they're not good the first year, we throw them out the window. But a lot of wide receivers pop off second year, like JSN. Bengals, I think I'm ready to start digging the grave. I think they're gonna need to pull something real crazy to get into the playoffs. It looks like they're just not that good this year.
I don't know if I said anything disparaging about this game. I just thought that it would be a massive game for implications for the Bengals. So I actually picked the Bengals thinking that, hey, this is a must win. I do think this Chargers team is legit even before that. Like, I think like they're going to be second in that AFC West division and then probably get either the 5 or the 6 slot in the maybe depending upon what happens in the AFC North. But I like that Chargers team too. I just thought the Bengals could outscore them on Sunday night, but obviously that didn't happen. The Chargers played a great game. But, I mean, that was probably one of the more entertaining games out of the entire, like, Week 11 slate. That was awesome to watch. Unfortunately, I got it wrong, but gives me a little bit more faith with Harbaugh and the Chargers moving forward. I'm just curious to see how they play against – I mean, we do kind of hype up this Bengals offense when all of a sudden their defense finds ways to blow games. I don't know. Like maybe like when the Chargers play a more complete team, it'll be a better test. But I don't know. I thought that was one of the better games of the week. So, I mean, obviously it was a loss for me, but don't really have much more to say other than that.
Yeah, it was a sick game.
Yeah.
Chargers, another recency bias. Like, not a lot of people were paying attention to them. Like, they had a good record. Everyone knew that, but no one really knew what they were about. And granted, this game doesn't really show what they're about because they do have a really good defense and they run the ball. Nice, Mikey.
Firework is back.
Kid's fired up, boy. Let's go.
Oh,
I did not do that.
just take the credit. That was cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, but basically, Chargers Sunday Night Football. Everyone saw him come out, play well. Jim Harbaugh
Yep, that's the
is
one.
their coach.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, Chargers look good.
Awesome.
I like it.
Mike?
Mikey, any spare thoughts on Bills, Chiefs, or Chargers, Bengals?
I have two friends in my life. One's a Bills fan, one's a Chargers fan, and
Oh, Dub, I guess we can just fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very happy for them both, and that's all I have to say.
Wow. Very insightful and
I was
Yo.
also
deflating.
very happy for you guys as Patriots fans as well.
Okay.
Joe
Go
Douglas
Jets.
is breaking news. Joe Douglas's phone number just dropped.
Actually,
Okay.
Anyone want it? No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. Okay, last game of the week, a snoozer. Texans Cowboys. Thought I said this is my last time on the Cowboys. If they lose this, I'm done with them trying to pretend that they're
Yeah.
going to cover spreads. This team is just different without Dak. Cooper Rush is not who he was when he had that like six-game winning streak or whatever. Offense isn't the same. It's just CD. They don't have a running game. They don't have anything else really. Defense has not been good either. Texans, I thought this was a big step forward for them. They usually don't win games by a lot of points. So to go into Dallas, granted it's Dallas, but thought this was a step in the right direction for them after the last couple of weeks that has been pretty shaky. So I like what I see out of this Houston team. I'm sure they'll lock up their division pretty soon. If not, make the wild card if the Colts somehow make a run or something. But obviously that's probably going to be a division winner. So they'll have another home playoff game. I'm interested to see how that goes. So who wants to jump off on this one? If anything else, I mean, we can kind of skip through this one if you want.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know if this is like kind of what you expect from the Texans moving forward, or if it's just a beatdown on a really shitty team. I think you just kind of hit the nail on the head. I don't really have much more to add other than that.
All right. So Mark, are you staying with us or are you going to bow out?
I'll bow out, but I'll tune back in for Mortal 5 or whatever. I got some picks.
Mortal
It's
5.
the Focus
I
5.
love the Mortal 5. Do or die, actually. If you don't hit those, then you can't be on the pod.
All right. We'll bring you back in at the end. You can give your live reaction.
All right,
to our
word.
Focus 5. Thanks once again for joining. Legacy replacement game with Mikey having technical difficulties. All right, so let's move on to
good point. I
What?
feel like my point was very good, and then my computer decided to say no.
what were you saying?
That Brock and Tua are the same guy.
We can shove
Okay.
this. We can shove this discussion
Yeah.
for these games this week. Okay, so first one. Honestly, I didn't write down any of my picks. I just remembered that I didn't write down any of them, so I'm gonna be going off. It's not like a facepalm. I know which way I'm gonna lean.
Okay.
I have my leans already, but this is one that I'm gonna need to be convinced. Either way, I'm hoping maybe some different.
All right. If you're leaning the Browns, get the fuck out of it.
No.
Or
I'm
on
saying
the
I'm
stream.
kind of in the middle. Like I'm leaning towards the Steelers, but I'm like, it's gonna be
Why?
it's the over under is 36.5. That's telling a story. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. And if it was Steelers 3, I love that. But 3.5, it's like this could be like an 18-15 game. Like the Steelers don't score touchdowns. The Browns do have somewhat of a defense. Granted, the Saints did just drop 35 in them. But all right, I'll go with the Steelers minus 3.5.
Thank you.
It's also going to be snowing, I think. I saw on CBS Sports. So
Who gives a shit? You're not betting on the Browns. No one should bet on the Browns. If anything,
guess.
this you know this game, if anything, is going to be 10-0 Steelers. If you wanted a low scoring game, that's what's going to happen. There's no way Jameis Winston
10-0?
is going to move. Yeah, like if it's going to be low scoring, who's going to score for the Browns? Do you think Nick Chubb's going to magically just reappear, or do you think
Jerry
Jameis
Judy had a
touchdown?
97-yard touchdown.
Was that in the snow? Was that in the snow? Oh, okay.
So now you care about the snow. Okay.
I don't give a shit if it's snowing or not snowing. Honestly, I think this is probably the biggest lock of the weekend. Honestly, I don't understand why it's 3.5.
Well, Thursday's not on the weekend, but
Sorry, biggest slate of the week, or biggest bet of the week. I mean, 3.5.
David and Njoku.
Okay,
Do I have to keep
go ahead, take the Browns then.
I'm
If
not.
the Browns, take the Browns.
I'm taking
Okay.
the Steelers. All right, so I'm on the Steelers. Cam's in the Steelers. I'm tentative though. I think this could be one that we say what were we thinking, but Mikey.
I don't think we're gonna say what are we thinking.
Yeah,
I think-
All right, man.
Thank you, Mikey.
I mean, like we might look back and say Cam was an idiot, being very
Bro, it's just
about this.
the Pittsburgh
but
Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens was Pittsburgh +3, but now all of a sudden it's -3.5 against one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NFL, Now it's like, holy shit. Oh, I don't know.
Dude,
if
but
you
you're
can
not
trust
you're
this
not
team.
taking into account why is that though. You just think it's Vegas. You think Vegas is being dumb, the people who reap millions of dollars
Okay,
every
fine.
week.
Then take the Browns. Then
I'm
take the
not.
Browns.
I'm just saying there's a cause, there's a story. There's always a
Okay.
story. It's not as simple as, especially in the NFL, there's always some bullshit going on. So I think something's up here. I don't know. It smells fishy to me.
I think
Especially
the Browns,
3.5.
I think the Browns gave up last week. And I don't know if that'll carry over into this week. That like sort of is a little bit of the reason that I feel like it could be leaning Browns, but I think, like Cam said, this could be like a 12-3.
Well, let me just be clear. It's
only-
not leaning Browns. No, we're all picking the Steelers. I'm just saying there's it's 3.5 for a reason. It's not like that's a fucking like. It's not like the guy at Vegas accidentally hit the 3 instead of the 6. Like there's a reason for this. Short week. I don't know. Has Russ ever played in the snow?
Who gives a fuck? All right, we got the Celtics on in 42 minutes. I'm not going to argue
All right,
about
sorry,
the Steelers
sorry.
and the Browns. On
We're not
Thursday.
arguing. We're all on the Steelers. Like you're like arguing with the wind. We're
Then
all
why
on
are
the
we
same
talking
side.
about it?
All right. We'll keep it moving. The defending world champions of the NFL, coming off their first loss in like 16 games, head to one of the biggest places to play on planet Earth, the Carolina Stadium, home of one person on this pod. He won't be in attendance. Whatever. They get the 11. They don't get 10. This is the biggest spread on the board this week. Chiefs -11 on the road. Michael, I want to hear what you have to say about this game first. What is your take from Chiefs Panthers? Or for Chiefs Panthers?
I said 2 weeks ago the Panthers are going to rattle off. 3 weeks ago, I think I said the Panthers are going to rattle off some wins. They were on a bye this last week, right? They're coming off a bye.
Yep.
I think they're on a 2-game win streak.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the Panthers. I don't think they'll win, but maybe they do. Maybe they get a little sneaky on them, but I don't know. I have been seeing some Bryce Young clips floating around on the internet of him being a good quarterback. So maybe something happens there.
Let's go, Bryce.
Coming. I have a lot riding on Bryce Young, like my 5 rookie cards that I have under the desk. But yeah.
Cam?
Yeah, so at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, I kind of like the Panthers here. I know the Chiefs coming off a loss against the Bills. That might be a get-back spot against one of the worst teams in the NFL, but I don't know. The Chiefs, like, until they prove it to me on beating up on teams that they should beat up on, I'm probably going to take them on massive spreads. Like, that's the biggest spread of the weekend, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, -11. So I'm going to take them plus double digits. Give me the Panthers plus 11.
I'm with you guys. This feels like a spot where the
right, that's tough. Yeah, not good. Well, we all agree.
Whatever. I have some different logic. I think the Chiefs coming off a loss, I think this is going to be like their midseason hurdle, that if they win the championship, like this will be their moment on the DVD where it's like, no one thought we were going to win again, and they can hype themselves up like the Patriots used to do. And trust me, being in that situation, like that's some of the best hype you can get. I think there's a chance the Panthers might win this game. Like seriously, they've looked good before.
Good value there too. Yeah.
Plus 4,400. I just looked at it, or 4,440, not 4,400. Anyways, I looked at it. I think this is a good spot for the Panthers. You know, coming off a bye, we got to refresh. We felt good going into the bye. Chiefs coming off that loss that, you know, they haven't felt that in a while. This could be kind of like all right, we're going to get back on track, like sleep run. Then all of a sudden you look up, the Panthers are up 10-7, like things start happening. I don't know, man. And also Cam, to your point, I think that one Saints game is the game we've been harping on that they've won by multiple possessions, and that was only a 10-point win. You're getting 11 here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think maybe we're being sucked into a mirage with the Panthers just beating 2 shitty teams in the Saints and the Giants, and we're like, oh, they might actually be good now. But I don't know. I think a lot of factors are coming in here. I think the Panthers can cover this spread. We have a comment here. Chiefs beat the Panthers, start of the championship DVD. I was saying if they lose this game, after they lose,
why does this guy's such a hater, Debbie?
I know, he's trying to trigger me. All right. What I was saying for the clarification is if the Chiefs lose to the Bills and lose to the Panthers, and then they win the Super Bowl after losing these 2 games, it was like, oh my God, the DVD. All right, we'll keep it moving. People out there know what I'm saying, not
Oh my
Yes.
God, the DVD.
Next one. I'm getting mocked again.
No,
On my own
I'm
show.
not. Stop. I'm fine. Let's go.
All right. Vikings head to Bears after beating the Titans, a pretty bad Titans team. Michael has been lost again.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear
Yeah.
you. You're just not on screen.
My picks are all on my notes app, and
All right.
You don't
Dub,
know
you
your
want to start
picks?
us off?
I want to give a quick backstory for this one. So I took my usual lunch walk today and was writing down the spreads for the game while on my phone. This was 3, now 3.5. I love the Vikings -3. 3.5 seems like kind of, I don't know, because the Bears are in a get back spot. But I'm also of the opinion that I'm going to stop with these bad teams, and the Bears have proven to be bad. So I'm taking the Vikings -3.5. Good defense wins ball games. The Bears, once again, I just don't see anything that's shown me that they can. Last week was their game to win, and they couldn't win it. So I'm not taking them again. I'm taking the Vikings -3.5.
Agreed. Divisional matchup. Give me the better team, especially when this Bears teams can't seem to figure it out. I think this might be a loss. And then if they lose this, I don't know if Eberflus is gone after this week, but if he loses this and then the week after, that might be, hey, time to run you the fuck out of town. I think this is the beginning of the end for the Chicago Bears head coach. So I'm going to go with the Vikings -3.5 here.
Yep, I'm with you both. I thought after that Panthers loss, it was going to be him that was gone, Eberflus, but they just fired OC, which makes me think
dumb as fuck.
They'll give him the rest of the year and then fire him in the offseason. But I don't know. That's something the Jets would do. So I feel like the Bears would probably do the same thing because they both suck. But yeah, I think you both said it. Vikings are just a better football team than the Bears. I think the division that's going to have 3 playoff teams in the NFC is probably the North, though.
Yeah,
They have the
agreed.
records as of right now.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bears have ever fired a coach mid-season, so that might be like a tradition thing that they're looking to not want to do that. Okay, moving on to another divisional matchup. We have an AFC South interdivision matchup between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. Titans on the road, 8 points. Who wants them? Any takers?
Yeah, this is the lock. Come on. We've already talked about it. Don't switch now on the anti-Titans. Come on. Like, how many weeks is it worth for us? Like, don't start now against a divisional matchup with the complete, like astronomically better team, especially coming off that Cowboys when they've definitely established, and with Nico back, like, he's probably going to get even more reps. Like, he didn't even play the entire game. Like, he was still, like, nursing his reps, getting back into it. I think Houston blows him out by at least 14. And obviously this Titans team is just, we've said it time and time again, don't touch. So I'm going to go with the Texans -8.
Yeah, I'm with you. Titans are banned for good reason. And the 8 gives me a half a second pause, but then I remember it's the Titans. And yeah, let's not overthink it. We'll take the Texans, even though they don't blow teams out. But they did it last week, so let's do it again this week against the Titans.
Yep.
Michael?
Yep. That's it. Titans
okay. So 4 picks in. We've all agreed on our that was 4.
Yeah,
4 picks in. We're all on the same thing, so that'll be interesting. We do have a bit of breaking news. Outer sports or different sport. Cleveland manager Stephen Vogt has been named American League Manager of the Year. So congrats to Stephen, friend of the pod. Next game.
Okay.
Next game,
please.
Detroit heads to Indianapolis, 7.5 on the road for the Colts, coming off a strong win over the Jets. The Colts were on the road for that game, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, they were out. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah,
it's a road game. As former Colts whisperer, I'll go last. Mikey, take us away on this one. Colts 7.5 seems like a little bit of an odd spread.
It does. Last week was Anthony Richardson's first came back after being benched. He played all right, I guess.
He had one of his better games as a pro.
Yeah, which is
and they beat the Jets by 1 point.
He was barely all right. And the Lions are coming off probably their best game of the year, their easiest game of the year. And the Colts didn't impress me against the Jets. And yeah, that's just Lions all day, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm taking Lions -14.5. Book it. That's all I gotta say.
On the road?
Yep. This Colts team, they barely beat the Jets. No offense to Mikey on the road. I'm feeling a massive letdown spot for the Colts here, and the Lions are just riding a hot wave. And the Lions also are a team where they don't play to their competition; they stomp on their throats. Like they're not going to let the whatever inferior teams that they play against like hang around in the game. I think this might be another kind of like exposing game, like the Jaguars last week. Lions might put up fucking 60 points this week. I have no idea, but I definitely know 7.5 is not enough to pick against them. So going Lions minus 7.5.
First, I want to clarify something. Anthony Richardson, 272 yards passing and a touchdown, 32 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Pretty good game. I don't know what really.
Against the Jets. Sorry, Mikey, but
The Jets have a good passing defense, I thought. I'll do it. I'll take the Colts plus 7.5. I've been waiting for the Lions to have a come down. Maybe they're going to go 15-1, but they're going to. I think things have to balance out naturally, and we're so late in the season that like these losses are going to start flinging from left and right. Chaos is happening. We saw last week it started to shake up a little bit. We haven't really been thrown into that full mode of things happening that are just like whoa. I think the Colts keep this close. The running games are going to be very important. Jonathan Taylor versus the duo in Detroit, but you also have Richardson on the Colts side. I don't know. The Lions are due for a letdown game at some point. It could not come here, but they're on the road in Indy. Indy coming off that little nice win, come back home. I like this Indy team enough to cover the 7.5. I think it could be like a 35-30 type game for the Lions, even if they do win. I think if the Lions just keep blowing everyone out, that's not fun. So I'm going fun pick. Colts plus 7.5. I think this could be a slept on good game of the afternoon. All right. Comment from the chat. Mark says Lions with I believe that's Lions lock. Okay. Well, I disagree. But you're with everyone else in this cast. So we got Patriots heading to Miami. Cam will be boots on the ground. So do you want to lead us off or you want to go last?
I'll go first. I mean, I feel like Mikey might not have as much insight on the game. Just because I don't know how much of the Pats or the Dolphins he's watched. But I mean, biasly, gonna have to bet on the Patriots here plus 7. I know they typically struggle in Miami, but if you're gonna do that, we'll talk about it later in the Focus 5. You're gonna need one of 2 players to score in order for us to at least end up within a close game, if not to win the game. So, I mean, when you're at a game, you kind of have to bet on the team that you're supporting for. So, take my bet with a grain of salt, but I'm gonna go with New England plus 7.
Mikey?
Yeah, I feel like I've done well betting against and for the Patriots. Like I feel like my record's probably pretty good on Patriots picks, and I was not confident in writing the Patriots on my sheet today, which is what I had until the start of this, and then I swapped it to the Dolphins. They've been playing good football the past couple weeks, and their offense has been like dialed in with Tua back. And I feel like the Patriots are just not very good, unfortunately for them. Their defense was great the first couple weeks. Maybe not great, but they were good the first 4 or 5 weeks. And I feel like they've let the team down a couple times recently. And I feel like that's going to do them in this week, especially away, like in Miami. Sideline's probably going to be like 120 degrees compared to 75 on the Dolphins side. So
it's only supposed to be 70 degrees, but it's all right.
All right. They'll put some heaters over there.
They probably will, actually.
I agree with everything you're saying. Dolphins are on a hot streak. Patriots last week didn't look good, but they've strung together some wins lately. That being said, give me the Patriots plus 7.
Now, Dubby.
This just feels like a spot where they can keep. This will be another close game. I mean, granted, the first game was between 2 different quarterbacks, but Michael, do you recall where Drake May went to college?
Yes.
UNC.
Yeah.
That's hot weather. He's built for this. I don't know. I don't think the hot weather is really a factor. A lot of these guys played at college in Alabama and Georgia and whatever in Florida.
It's also not going to be that hot. Yeah, it's not going to be that hot.
It's also 70, so what are we talking about here? I think this will be a close game. I'm not sure if the Patriots win it, but if this gets to 7.5, I may bet it. But if I'm picking just against the 7, I will take the Pats. I mean, this could be like a field goal loss again, maybe a 4-point loss. I could see them winning.
Divisional game.
Yeah. I think the Dolphins are like riding too high right now, where it's like, oh, we've won a couple of games in a row, where they need to come back down to earth. Like, I don't think the Dolphins are one of those teams that I'm trusting to just go on a winning streak. So I think this could be like a surprise letdown spot for them coming off a nice couple strong wins. That being said, Tyreek Hill and Waddle haven't really done their usual, so I'm expecting maybe one of those two will have a crazy game. I also think A-Chain could have like 150 yards, but I think
we don't need to put that into
yeah,
the universe.
maybe that'll
Why are
happen.
we
It
saying
probably
that out
won't.
loud?
Patriots defenses look good. They've been cutting people that have been making tackles for them. Tyquan Thornton cut this week. Little
hype.
tidbit
Fuck
there
Tyquan.
that no one cares about outside of the Pats world. So we'll keep
Do
moving.
you know where he went? Do you know where he went?
Yeah, he went to Kansas City. Him and
Yeah.
Zappy are going to win a Super Bowl when Mahomes goes out.
Tough.
Here we go. Another quarterback change. Former Syracuse quarterback Tommy DeVito went to Illinois when he actually got good. But the return of Tommy DeVito, and what the fuck are the Giants doing, bro? Drew Lock has been the word I want to use, I don't think I can use on air, so I'm not going to say it. But
Whoa.
yeah, I don't think Drew Lock has been treated
I want to know the
correctly.
word.
I do too.
You guys have the most like stumped faces. 5.5. 5.5. This was another one that changed, more 5. So this was 5, went to 5.5 bucks. People are betting the Bucks. I'm with the people. I just think Mike Evans is back this week. I think they had a bye week last week. The Bucks feel like they should have more wins than they do. The Giants are a dumpster fire, and honestly, like if you're giving me a choice between Tommy DeVito and Daniel Jones, I might still pick Daniel Jones. As crazy as that is to say, he's more mobile. He has a better arm. Tommy DeVito had a fucking flash in the pan against one of the worst Patriots teams of all time, and the Raiders team. No, they got destroyed by the Raiders, or they lost the Raiders. But he had another like weak win last year, and then there was like, oh, he's Italian, so we're gonna hype him up. And if I see this emoji, I might like end it all, bro. I'm done. I don't like Tommy DeVito. I'm gonna be fading DeVito for as long as possible. So I'm starting here with the Bucks. Even though they're on the road, this Giants home field has not proven to beat anything this year. So Cam, we'll go to you.
Yeah, easy money. Not going to say too many words. Give me the Bucks minus 5.5. I would have taken any other team probably at minus 5.5 other than the Giants. And Baker, I mean, I've kind of been one of his biggest supporters even without Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Give me the Bucks minus 5.5 against a backup quarterback.
Should be third string quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You guys are like hating on the new
We're not hating. It's just being realistic.
I'm with the new quarterback bump, except when it's fucking Tommy DeVito. It's like, oh, we got a new quarterback. It's Ian Book. That doesn't mean shit. You don't complete a pass in the NFL. We got a new quarterback. It's Tim Boyle. Like that's the level of Tommy DeVito is to me. I don't think he's good at all. I don't think he's worth anything. Maybe he'll have another game that's good, but we'll see. I don't see it.
I don't think it's this week. I'm taking the Bucks too.
All right. So then you just proposed a hypothetical and didn't even follow through on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Respect.
I mean, it was like the same thing last week or 2 weeks ago when the Saints got their new coach and then won. I feel like we were all on them. I don't think any of us picked them that week.
Well, to me, coaching boost is up here, and then quarterback boost is like it's still good, but it's not automatic. Like coaching boost is pretty much automatic. Quarterback boost, we've seen some like the Colts have tried to fuck around with that and hasn't worked out well.
I think we've
Cooper Rush
I think if anything, we've kind of talked about how the quarterback switching is more of a detriment to the team as opposed to the head coaching switch.
I feel like it's different when it's an injury or a benching though. Like Mason Rudolph,
the benchings usually end better.
Mason Rudolph in his first game in the Titans was pretty good. Joe coming in from when
Donald, if anything, I'd go to this season. Benching Bryce.
Joe Flacco playing for the Colts. Granted, it was in like relief, in a relief appearance or 2 appearances was good. When AR got benched in two games in a row. I don't know. I feel like new quarterback bump is still pretty up there.
I got coach bump over it. I think it's real, but it's not like the all-defining fact.
Is it over offensive coordinator bump?
Yeah, offensive coordinator bump is maybe. I don't know. All right, we got to keep it moving. Cam's got to watch this fucking NBA game in November. Cowboys. I said I was done with them. They head to DC. 10 points, second biggest spread on the board. Cam seems frustrated that we even have to pick this game. So
give me the Skins minus 10.
Any
Mikey's
reason?
gone tough.
No,
No,
he's
I'm not.
here. He's just
Okay.
checking
I'm
his
here.
notes on his phone.
Give me Commanders -10.
Any reasoning, or you just want to keep moving?
I mean, why? I don't think you need my explanation. Just watch any single football game that the Skins or the Cowboys play. It kind of seems obvious, but
Well, I'll follow up. I don't think the Cowboys are worth this. I mean, the Cowboys are worth dismissing. I think the Commanders give me more trouble with them blowing teams
the
out.
who?
Are we gonna do this every week?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
kind of
All right.
our bit. Yeah.
Commanders, I don't like 10 points feels like a lot to me. I think they had another game earlier in the year where I was like, that's a lot of points to me. I will take the Commanders because I've made a promise that I'm not going to take the Cowboys anymore at these like interesting prices. But I don't know. I think this could be one that ends up being close. Divisional matchup. Cooper Rush, job on the line game. Trey Lance could be thrown in there. I think they also signed Will Greer, but I don't know. It just seems like this
Will
Cowboys
Greer, holy
Will Greer,
shit!
this-
Wow.
dude, he had his preseason
Holy-
in 2022, dude. That's legacy shit. He was gonna start for the
Mikey.
Pats next year, or last year. I don't know. I'm taking the Commanders. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm
Cowboys.
gonna take the Cowboys because
I like it. Honestly, I like that pick.
we've been agreeing way too much today. First of all,
Fair. We have been. Yeah.
I agree with what Dub was saying about I feel like the 10 is more it's less of an indictment on the Cowboys and more of like, wow, the Commanders are so good, and I feel like that's a little bit too much for me.
I feel like the Commanders have been propped up by Vegas. But
Yeah,
Fair.
basically.
We'll
And
see if
But
like
it's still
the
the
Cowboys, like
Cowboys.
Cooper Rush was slinging the rock. He had like 350 yards or something like that last week. Like, obviously they're not a good offense, but they can put up points. They can do that sort of thing. But yeah.
All right. I like the dissenting opinion. I like your mindset. I think the Cowboys could cover this game. That's one of my sketchier picks.
I don't think
Next game.
win. It's probably
Yeah.
a 9-point game, but
Next game, another divisional matchup. A lot of divisional matchups this week, I just noticed.
Yeah.
Broncos head to Las Vegas, and Vegas has their boys back again, 5.5. This one's a little bit baffling. Feels like a potential trap spot. So, I do have this as part of my Focus 5, but I'm taking the Broncos -5.5. Really, honestly, I have to admit I like what Bo Nix has put out there. You know, being that kind of Brandon Whedon type where he's older and just can go right in. He's ready to play. They don't really have weapons, but it's not really been a problem up to this point. And the Raiders are just one of the worst 5 teams in the NFL. So I think this can easily be a pretty close game. But it feels like, especially AFC West, like 4:00 games kind of get weird. So I think this could get weird. But I'm going with the side that's the better team. And, you know, I don't think Vegas really has a home field advantage. So I'm taking the Broncos.
yeah, we've definitely had some blowouts in the 4:00 windows the past couple weeks, like bad blowouts.
Yeah.
I'm also going to take the Broncos here. No faith in the Raiders. That's basically the only reason for that.
Yeah, same here. Can't say much more. I know Dub kind of talked about the divisional matchup, especially at 4:00 on the West Coast. But I mean, I think Vegas is kind of on the no-touch list, so I'm going to go with the Broncos -5, 5.5.
All right, next one. I think this will be the Brady game. I'm assuming game of the week on Fox.
Yeah.
Really, this one's really interesting for me. Packers -2.5. San Francisco coming into town. Obviously, I think they're either 5-5 or 5-6. Things got to start figuring themselves out for the 49ers. Packers have looked pretty solid throughout the year. A couple losses here and there, but they've been one of the upper echelon teams in the NFC. So, Michael, we'll kick it back to you. What's your pick for this game? Kind of a pick 'em. I mean, unless you like the 1 and 2 point spreads, but
yeah, I'm gonna take the 49ers here mostly because of I feel like they need it. I feel like I've talked about that a little bit. It's probably too much because I base a lot of my picks on whether or not the teams need to win or something like that. But coming off of like a bad loss, and they're like historically they get better as the year goes on. Later into the year, they're a better team. They become better. They peak around playoff time, and we're getting into the thick of it. Like the NFC is still pretty wide open. That division is wide open. I think I'm not really a big fan of the Packers. They're their offense is too turnover. They have way too many turnovers on offense. And yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers.
Cam, a noted Packers fan on the pod.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to agree with Mikey's sentiment. Especially against that. I know it was a divisional matchup against the Bears last week, where you can kind of understand that close matchup, but especially on the road, I don't know. This 49ers team, like Mikey said, is just kind of due, and they need it way more than the Packers. I mean, the Packers, granted, are like they need any position that they can get. I just think they're at a point where they can't win the division against the Lions. They're gonna have to beat them at least once and then also probably win out. So I'm gonna lean the 49ers here. And if not, I can also see it being kind of similar to that Packers Green Bay game where the 49ers might have a field goal to win the game, but they're only down by 2 and somehow they cover. But I don't know. It just seems like a get right spot for the Niners. So I'm gonna go with them minus or plus 2.5.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite picks of the week. I was hoping you guys would take the Packers, but I'm taking the 49ers as well.
Dude, we are so screwed. I'm not betting anything this weekend.
I don't know. I like the 49ers a lot in this spot. A lot of good points have been made. I just think that they really need this game, and the Packers coming off kind of like a sketchy win where they didn't really deserve to win. This could be an easy letdown spot for them. I think don't the 49ers like own the Packers as well over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I believe so. But
yeah, I think
still,
get back spot. Kind of sketchy that we're all on the same thing. So we'll see what happens. Either we're all going to have a really good record or a really bad record. Probably the latter. But we'll keep it moving to another NFC divisional game, the Cardinals and the Seahawks. I have not made my mind up yet on this one. So, Cam, are you fading your favorite team to fade, or are you going to have to switch?
I'm going with my team that I love to fade. As much as I hate this Arizona Cardinals team and how inconsistent they've been, they've actually have played relatively well, admitting to my mistakes. I think that's kind of a testament to if they've been playing throughout the entire year, but also I don't trust the Seahawks team at all. So if I'm going to get the team +1, who I think is the better team outright, I'm probably going to take them. I also like Marvin Harrison Jr., so I'm just going to take the Cardinals +1. Kind of, that's my least favorite game to bet this week, but I'm going to take the Cardinals +1.
Mikey?
I'm also on Cardinals. I also hate this game. Both of these teams are very untrustworthy.
Yeah,
I don't really have any. I don't, like Mark said a couple weeks ago, I don't watch West Coast football.
No one likes it.
Well, I like it. So my mind has been made up by you guys both picking the Cardinals. I'll take the Seahawks, spice it up a little bit.
Also, just for the Dubcast, I have it at +1. Is it -1 Cardinals?
Yeah, I have -1 Cardinals. I can look
Okay,
at that
that's fine. I was just curious, but yeah, I'll still take them.
It's a pick 'em.
Yeah.
I'll take the Seahawks 12th man. Hot win last week. Let's string 2 together in a row. I don't know. Cardinals coming off a bye week. I think they're a little too high for their britches. You know, people are giving them a little more credit than they deserve. I don't know where their good wins really are. I mean, they beat the Jets, nice. They beat the Bears, nice. Like, I don't know. The Seahawks have a better win over the 49ers, but did the Cardinals also beat the 49ers earlier in the season?
Yeah, they did.
Fuck. Well, anyways, I'm taking the 12.
Also,
I'm taking
don't
the 12
act
man.
the 49ers are that great of a team. They're below 500 right now.
I like the 49ers' chances to win the Super Bowl this year.
Okay. All right, next game.
Yeah, well, I'll talk about one of these players in my Focus 5, so we'll get to that when we get to Sunday Night Football. Waiting all day to go to LA. I'll take the Rams plus.
Jesus Christ, that was tough.
So me and Kelly, if you need a guest singer, I'll take the Rams +3. They've lost 2 weeks ago. The Rams, I forget to who, but coming off that Pats win, momentum needs to start swinging. And I'm not ready to crown this Eagles team yet. I think I'm waiting for their letdown spot. I'm waiting for their downfall. Nice little home game for the Rams. Give me a field goal too. I'll take that any day of the week. I think the Rams will win this game. Prime time. It'll be a close game. Ultimately, I trust Stafford more than I trust Jalen Hurts. And defenses, I think both, I trust McVay more than I trust, Siri Bum.
Siri Bum.
And I trust Stafford more than I trust Hurts. So give me the coach and quarterback combo. Cam, you were shocked.
Yeah, just give me the Eagles. I don't have anything else to add. I'll just let the play do the talking on that game.
All right.
very confident in you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
He
the
just wants to watch the Celtics. He wants to get this over with.
yeah. These are on.
Well, a
soon.
combination of
Um,
both.
I'm gonna take the Rams. I just like they're kind of like the 49ers. They've gotten a little bit more healthy as they've gone, and I feel like they're gonna get better and better as the season goes on. We're getting into winning time, and yeah, taking the Rams.
You see that number?
No.
22% to make the playoffs. That's what they're giving the Rams. Keep fucking sleeping, FanDuel losers. Wait, so you took the Rams?
Yeah.
Respect. Last game of the week, Monday Night Football, Harbaugh Bowl. Ravens head to LA. Two LA primetime games back to back. That'll be interesting. Harbaugh Bowl here. Jim versus John. I think they played a couple times before, maybe not, but this will be an interesting
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl,
True.
yeah.
Yeah. This will be an interesting one.
The host of the fucking podcast doesn't even know they played against each other in the Super Bowl. What are we talking about, W?
Well, which Harbaugh are you taking?
I'm gonna take John.
Oh,
I think the -3 on the road didn't win last week. I think they're due for a get back spot. I think I'll get into it in my focus 5, but I think there's a massive get back spot for Lamar and Derrick Henry. But yeah, give me I just don't think the Chargers can keep up scoring wise with the Ravens. I know I said that against the Bengals, but also I trust the Ravens more than I do the Bengals. So I'm going to take the Ravens -3.
I'll be taking John. Oh, what do you say,
Go.
Ben?
You go.
All right, I'm
He's
taking John.
John.
You're taking John?
Yeah.
Love it.
Hating.
I'm not hating. I
don't know. I feel
Being
like
a
the Ravens are like teetering. It's
Not
the sort
really,
of thing we were talking about it, but if their Super Bowl movie comes out, they're after this loss, they're gonna be like, oh, we're never gonna win again. And,
That's a Steelers game, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the Chargers.
I love that comparison
General.
actually.
Lad McConkey, dog, J.K. Dobbins, comeback player of the year is probably a lock now. Maybe not, but
yeah, they made a good case for him on
Yeah.
Twitter. On the
Charge.
platform formerly known as Twitter, sorry.
Thank you, Elon, for saving free speech.
Did you watch UFC on Saturday? Trump, Elon, RFK, Trump Jr.
I did.
On the building.
Did you watch
No.
Tyson throw a fight?
I
Yeah,
did.
We're not bringing that up on this podcast. We don't talk about fake fights.
We don't talk about.
So you're taking John and the Ravens, but you're hyping up the Chargers right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he forgot who was coaching who, but
What?
John is the coach of the Ravens. Jim is the coach of the Chargers.
You're right. I'm taking the Chargers.
All right. Good, because I thought you were going to take the Ravens, because I'm also taking the Ravens. I love this spot for the Ravens.
Agreed.
Chargers are just flying too high. They won a couple games last couple weeks that, it could have gone either way. Well, not the Titans game, but I don't know. I think they're too good right now. It's the Chargers. Eventually, they will have to fall a little bit. I do like their team overall, though. I like their rushing attack. All right. We're running short on time. The 3 is basically pick 'em. Cam's got to get out of here. I will say to the viewers out there, if anyone wants to call in live again, me and Mikey can field some calls if Cam needs to go. But we'll see what happens.
You mind if I run through my focus 5 before we dip?
We still have 7 minutes. Or you need to go now?
No. I just meant like if I did first. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last week,
yeah, go ahead.
You went 0-5. Me and Mikey both hit 1 pick. So this is another legacy week. You guys always talk about making the viewers money, but you guys have had multiple zero. Well, Cam has had multiple 0 weeks. So the pressure's hot. 11-29 on the year on the pick. So let's hear all your parlays with 1 million players scoring a touchdown. That won't happen.
Pressure's hot, but yet I have the highest winning percentage against the spread. So take that as you will. First parlay, we're going to go Stevenson is absolutely due. Boots on the ground. Ramondre to score a touchdown. With Derrick Henry to score a touchdown, who also didn't score last week. And James Conner. Love him to score against a tough NFC West matchup. I don't see them throwing the ball around a lot. think they're going to be running the ball. That's my three running back parlay to score. Second leg, we're going to do, I know Dub mentioned it earlier, Jefferson 2 weeks in a row, not to score a touchdown. Love him to score this week, and then also Minnesota to win. We're going to go third leg, Thursday Night Football. George Pickens, after the Steelers did not score a touchdown last week. Love Pickens to score with Pittsburgh money line. Fourth, going to be boots on the ground. Feeling a Hunter Henry touchdown. He hasn't scored in probably 4 or 5 plus weeks, but he's their number one option in the red zone. And then obviously with that, we're going to do the Pats money line because if Hunter scores, then the Pats are probably going to win. And as I mentioned, I'm definitely betting with my heart, not my head on that one, but I have to when I'm going to be at the game. Last one, feeling a massive Ravens comeback for the fifth leg. I love Derrick Henry to score, and I love Lamar to score with the Ravens -3. I feel like both of them are kind of due for a massive game. And if they both score, I can't imagine them winning by less than 3 points. So that's my focus 5. Definitely been a tough last week with the 0-5 on the focus, but I love the matchups I have this week, and hopefully you guys ride it with me and we can ride the massive payout together. Unfortunately, I do have to dip, but thank you, Dubby, for having me on the pod. Mikey, always a pleasure. Mark, thanks for hopping on and providing some valuable content, but we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right. Thank you so much. Luckily, now that he's gone, we have a valued replacement.
Let's go.
Anything to say before we give our focus 5, or you just want to listen and observe and then comment after?
No, I'm good. You guys make the picks. I'll make mine after.
All right, Michael. 1-4 last week, 11-34 on the year. 5 more losses than Cam. So, I mean, there's opportunity. The window is open for you to overtake him. But what are your focus 5 picks of the week?
We got locks on locks. First one, just a simple Cowboys Commanders. We're gonna take the over at 44.5. Mark left.
He's probably on his phone like you.
All right. And then we're gonna take Panthers again. We're not gonna take money line. We're just gonna take against the spread and a Chuba Hubbard touchdown. That's worked for me before, so it's gonna work again. That's my logic. And then we're gonna take Rams money line and a Kyron touchdown. He didn't score last week. I don't know if he scored 2 weeks ago either.
He scored 2 weeks
in
ago.
4 weeks.
Oh, he's scored in 4 weeks? That seems wrong, but go ahead.
Yeah, so he's due. And then we're gonna take a 3-team money line. We're gonna do Cardinals, Broncos, Vikings. And at the beginning of the year, I don't know if you would have ever taken those teams to win any time, but they've been playing well this year. And then the last one, we're going to take Vikings on the spread, 3.5, and a Justin Jefferson touchdown because he hasn't scored in 3 weeks.
Wow, it's pretty close to what Cam took on one of those. I think he took Jefferson as well. All right. I was fact-checked. Mark is right. Kyron Williams, no touchdown 4 weeks. Got to do my research. I have him on fantasy, so I thought he just does well, I guess. So my focus 5 of the week, going back to the traditional format, they did well a couple weeks ago. So I got 2 money lines of underdogs. First, I got the 49ers money line. We were all on that, so that's a little bit shaky now. But them as underdogs in this game, I feel like they can win this game against the Packers pretty easily. Second one, Rams money line, plus odds again at home. Sunday Night Football, Stafford primetime. I trust him and McVay over Hurts and Sirianni. Teaser parlay. Unfortunately, the Falcons fucked up my teaser parlay, but I still like the way this direction's going. This time I have 3 teams instead of 2, so I'm teasing the Bucks down to 2.5 just in case DeVito decides to be relevant. Chiefs -6.5. I still think they can beat the Panthers by a touchdown at least. And Seahawks +3.5. I originally had Cardinals, I think +3.5, but now that you guys made me switch my pick, I'm confident the Seahawks +3.5. So those are the teasers there. I got a bad teams are bad parlay. So we have Vikings money line to beat the Bears, Broncos money line to beat the Raiders, Steelers money line to beat the Browns, and Texans money line to beat the Titans. So 4 teams there probably won't hit because due theory, but I like our odds there. Finally, touchdown score parlay is back. Stupid Chase Brown couldn't score to do the 2, so I just upped it to 4 again. I'm with Cam on Ramondre to score. I like Mike Evans to score in his comeback game. If he plays, I do have a sub. If he doesn't play, sub him out for Amon-Ra if Mike Evans does not play. But if Mike Evans plays, he's part of this parlay. Christian McCaffrey to score. Hasn't scored yet since he's been back. Seems like a free spot for him to score. And last one, DK Metcalf. He's going to want his due and respect after JSN had a pop-out game last week. That Cardinals game is going to be high scoring, one of the biggest over-unders on the board. So I think a lot of points are going to be scored in that game. Give me DK to score. So 4 touchdown scores there on the parlay. Now we kick it to Mark. Did you want to give picks or did you want to analyze our picks?
No, I've got some picks. So this is going to be a trail map to 4 or 5 times in your money right here. So we're going to start on Thursday. Steelers, Browns. Is it going to be snowing? Did I hear that correct?
Yes, it says 42, but it says snow in the CBS weather descriptor. So I think it's going to be at least very cold conditions, like maybe possible precipitation, snow maybe.
So it's just going to be yucky.
Yeah.
It's going to be yucky.
I don't know if you can see this, but there's that little snow logo in the 43 degrees.
Got it. So follow along with me here. The Browns last week against the Saints scored 14 points. Saints aren't that good. The Ravens last week against the Steelers scored 16 points, I believe. Ravens are very good. The over-under team total on Browns points this week is 15.5. That is the easiest under I have ever heard of in my life. Lock that in. Take your winnings and your original bet from that. Ride it over on Sunday. Lions -7 against the Colts. 7.5, whatever. That's fine. That's going to be a rout. And if it's not, they'll still cover. And then you'll have 4 times your money. Take all of that and put it on TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year. That one's going to take a little bit of time to mature in your bet. But TJ Watt right now is on the best defense in the league. Just had a huge game. He's -140. The next closest player is Chris Jones at +1,000. So even if he's not huge odds, whoever's behind him obviously has no confidence. I feel like that's just not huge odds because he might get hurt, whatever. But knock on wood, he doesn't get hurt. TJ Watt, even if you want to just throw a little on TJ Watt right there as Defensive Player of the Year, has a little future, which I have.
Okay.
So 2 games this week, team total under, a spread, and then TJ Watt as the Defensive Player of the Year.
And then that's where the trail ends, is the big TJ Watt bet?
Yeah. After that, it'll be – they announced that the day before the Super Bowl, so February. I don't know. You could parlay that over to, UConn winning March Madness or something.
Now we're just getting fucking crazy.
Yeah, you asked. I had to give something. But, that's where it ends. TJ Watt.
All right, I like it. I'm seeing -160 on FanDuel right now for TJ Watt. So, you make a couple money. -160 ain't that bad. Chris Jones +1100. That feels like that has no shot hitting.
Unless TJ Watt gets there.
It's free money if he plays 5 of the last 7 games.
J.K. Dobbins +340, comeback player of the year.
Really? Is he the leader?
No, he's third behind Kirk and Joe, both +150.
Joe who?
Burrow. Came back from the wrist injury.
Or something.
That seems stupid.
Well, it happened. All right.
J.K. Dobbins actually came back.
He's
being a baby.
He's had he should be career comeback player because he's had a shit career so far.
He's been out for 3 straight years.
People are doubting him, and he actually can run the football. All right, lads. Anything before we sign off on air? Week 11 recap. Week 12 predictions.
Mark, do you know what you were in your last appearance in your Focus 5? What your
Yeah,
record?
I had it written down somewhere, but it's deleted by now. I can try and pull it up if you filibuster. I don't know if it's still in
I
my
don't
trash.
think it was that good. I was maybe like 2-3 or something.
Well, you had a
That's-
weird one because you gave future, so it's like we're still waiting on the
You
Jaden
had-
Daniels and we're waiting on the 49ers.
Yankees winning.
You had
Game one.
Yankees game 1.
I had 2 team total unders again. I like those. I'm just like a defense guy. Defense fires me up. Good defense shutting down a bad team. It's just like totally emasculating them. It's awesome.
Nice.
True. Do you remember when you came on?
No.
It was
The
the
week
week
before the World Series.
Yeah.
It was
We
the
might
week
have.
before the Washington Chicago game.
All right. Well, I have you at 9-7 on the picks,
There you go.
and then Focus 5. Yeah, I didn't write it down. I think you. I can read. If you ever make an appearance, I'll have your stats ready. Don't worry. An official appearance, not a call-in appearance. You know.
That's fine. I like my commenter section appearance.
Yeah,
so.
it was very lonely today. Usually, there's more people in there. It was just you
Yeah.
today.
Usually Brett.
Usually Brett. Sometimes my friends from Syracuse. Sometimes Casey who came in last week. Anyways, we're just spewing now, so I'm gonna end the stream. So thank you guys so much for another great Dubcast. Thanks for Mike, Mark, and Cam for joining along as always. More content in the future. We just hit 60 subscribers, so we're on the rise. Keep it moving, and expect more content as always. So be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.